Let's look at the solution to question 21 to 30 of the 2020 JAMB Physics examination questions. Question 21 says, the RMS value of a supply voltage is quoted at 200 volts. What is the approximate peak value of the voltage? A. 200 volts, B. 300 volts, C. 283 volts, D. 250 volts. So how do we solve this question? Now, first things first, in this question here, we're asked to find peak value of voltage, and we're given the RMS value of the voltage as 200 volts. So for question number 21, we're given RMS voltage, so VRMS. We're given this value as 200 volts. So given this as 200 volts, so equal to 200. We're asked to find the peak voltage. You want to know that the peak voltage is written as V naught or is written as V max. All right, so V naught or V max, that's how we represent peak voltage. Now, the formula that relates these two is that VRMS, so VRMS is equal to the peak voltage all over square root of 2. If I put this as all over 1 and cross multiply, V naught times 1 gives you V naught. We have that V naught is equal to VRMS times root 2 gives you VRMS dot root 2, right? Let's impute values. So the peak voltage is equal to VRMS, the value there is 200, it becomes 200 root 2. Get your calculator and punch 200 root 2. Your answer here would give you 282.8 volts. So you have approximately 282.8 volts as your answer. Approximate this to the nearest whole number. This becomes 283 volts. So for this question, the answer there is 283 volts. So let's see which option has that. So looking at this, the correct answer there is C, 283 volts, right? So basically, this is how we solve this question. Let's look at the next question, question number 22. 22 says, momentum and kinetic energy are conserved in A, inelastic collision, B, elastic collision, C, explosion, D, spacecraft. For this question, the correct answer is B, elastic collision. You want to take note that an elastic collision is a type of collision in which there is no net loss in kinetic energy in the system due to collision. So in essence, both kinetic energy and momentum are being conserved in an elastic collision. Next up, question number 23. 23 says, transformers are designed so that energy losses are reduced to a minimum. This is achieved through those processes. I think it should have been, this is achieved through which processes or which process. Anyways, I says using a soft iron core. I says laminating the iron core to reduce energy losses due to eddy current. I says designing an efficient iron core. So you have option A, option B, option C, and option D, which is correct. Now for this question, note that the statement number 1, that's using a soft iron core. Statement number 2, that is laminating the iron core to reduce energy losses due to eddy current. And statement number 3, which is designing an efficient iron core, are ways in which a transformer can be designed to reduce an energy loss. All right. So what that means is that all of the options here are correct. That means C is the correct answer. I, and I only. So all of them are correct. All right. Next up, question number 24. 24 says, which of the following is not true about gas molecules? A, they have a high cohesive force. B, they move with high speed. C, they are in random motion. D, they bombard the walls of the container. For this question number 24, if you look at the options there, A says they have a high cohesive force. Now, when something has a high cohesive force, it means they stick together. Example, solids. All right, the particles of solids stick together because they have high cohesive force. But gases do not have, or gas molecules do not have high cohesive forces. And this explains why when gases are exposed to air, they tend to move in different directions. All right, they scatter, if we should use that word. And this is because they do not have high cohesive force. All right, they move with high speed. Of course, gases move with high speed. They are in random motion. Of course, they are always in random motion because the particles are not sticking together. Why? Because they do not have high cohesive force. D, they bombard the walls of the container. Of course they do. So the correct answer here is A. A is not true. In essence, gases do not have high cohesive forces. All right. Question number 25. 25 says, for a best result using temperature to achieve an accurate measurement, it is best to use A, mercury thermometer, B, gas thermometer, C, clinical thermometer, D, alcohol thermometer. For question number 25, the correct answer is B, gas thermometer. All right. You want to know that gas thermometers are the best when it comes to achieving an accurate temperature measurement than others, such as liquid in glass thermometers. Example, mercury, clinical, and alcohol thermometers. So the best for this is always gas thermometers. All right. Okay, number 26. 26 says the resultant force of a couple is A, infinity, B, 0, C, 1, D, half. All right. Now, for this question, you want to know that for a couple, you have two equal forces acting on the same distance but in opposite direction. So for this, we'd have, let's say, F1 acting on a distance L1, and this will be equal to the same force F1, for instance, acting on the same distance but in opposite direction. So L1, you have something like this. This is the concept of our couple. And if I move this over here, you have that F1 L1 minus F1 L1. All right, this is the concept of our couple, and this will give you what there? 0. So for a couple, the resultant is always 0. So the answer here is B, 0. Next up, question number 27. 27 says, when water is boiling, it A, gets hotter, B, increases in mass, C, changes to steam, D, decreases in mass. So which of these is correct? When water is boiling, does it get hotter? Does it increase in mass? Does it change to steam? Or does it decrease in mass? Of course, when water is boiling, or when water has reached its boiling point, it doesn't get hotter than that. But then if you observe a container in which water is being boiled, you see steam coming out, which they call smoke. Right? You see steam, that's gas coming out. That means for this question here, the correct answer is C, it changes to steam. All right, or it changes to gaseous form. That's your correct answer. Question 28. 28 says, body floats in fluid when it dash. A, displaces its own volume of the fluid or liquid. B, displaces its own mass of the fluid. C, displaces its own density of the fluid. D, is no longer subjected to gravity. So which of these is the correct answer? For this question, you want to note that from Archimedes' principle, it states that a body would float if it displaces a volume of water equal to its own weight. All right. The condition for floating is that a body must displace a volume of water, but not just any volume of water. The volume of water displayed should be equal to its own weight, which, if you look at it there, must be equal to its own mass. So for anybody to float in water, it must displace its own mass of the fluid. So for this question here, the correct answer is B, displaces its own mass of the fluid. That is the correct answer. Question 29. 29 says, plane mirror can be used for the following reasons. Number 1, for optician testing equipment. Number 2, in galvanometer for detecting small currents. Number 3, in a kaleidoscope. Number 4, as a looking glass. So you have option A, option B, option C, and option D. Which of them is the correct answer? Now, for this question here, you want to note that the correct answer is C. All right, that's all of them. A plane mirror can be used by an optician for testing equipment. That's correct. It can also be used in a galvanometer for detecting small currents. That is also correct. It can also be used as a kaleidoscope. Now, you want to note that a kaleidoscope is simply an instrument used for entertainment as a toy. All right. Or it can also be used for educational purposes to teach symmetry and reflection. Number four, as a looking glass. Of course, the mirror we use at home to look at ourselves is a plane mirror. So all of these options are correct. So the correct answer there is C. I, and IV. Finally, question 30. Question 30 says, if two vectors are acting in the same direction, what is the resultant force? If S, the first vector S, is equal to 50 Newton and T equal to 40 Newton, A, 90 Newton, B, 10 Newton, C, 15 Newton, D, 20 Newton. Now, to answer this question, let's assume that S is moving in this direction. All right, we have S in this direction. We also have T in this direction here. All right, you have S. Let me write this better. Okay, we'll do this better. All right, so you have S. So S is equal to 50 Newton this way. You have T equal to 40 Newton in this way. Now, what you want to notice is that whenever you have two vectors moving in the same direction, what you do is that you add up their values. All right. So for this, the resultant would be this going in the same direction like this, and then let's call it R. Resultant R will be equal to the value of S plus the value of T, and that becomes 50 plus 40, and that gives you 90 Newton. All right. So for this question there, the answer becomes A, 90 Newton. That's your answer. Next up, all right, so you have question 31 for you as usual. So I'll give you question 31 here. 31 says the strength of an electromagnet increases with A, decrease in the number of turn of the coil, B, decrease in the current with the coil, C, increase in the distance between the pole, D, increase in current without the coil. All right, so you have option A, option B, option C, and option D. Which of these is the correct answer? Leave your answer in the comment section and I'll give you a reply. I'll tell you if you're correct or not. Okay? Okay, guys, so please take note that we have a JAMB WhatsApp group for 2026 JAMB Bites. All right. So if you're writing JAMB for 2026, we have a JAMB WhatsApp group where we do daily revisions on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. So if you're a science student and you want to join our JAMB WhatsApp group, I'll leave a link to the JAMB WhatsApp group in the video description. All right. You can also join our JAMB channel membership to get access to exclusive content for JAMB Bites, or you can get the full JAMB course on our website. Simply visit www.journalimmanu.com/courses and you see the JAMB/WAEC classes. All right. Okay, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. All right. Like this video. Also leave a comment. Right, for the comments, I gave you a task, question number 11. Solve it, leave your answer in the comment section, and I will tell you if you're correct or not. Don't forget to also subscribe. If it's your first time here or you're yet to subscribe, please do what to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and select all so that you get notified whenever we upload a new content. Then finally, ensure to share this video to your friends and their colleagues so that they can also learn. Thank you and see you in our next class.